Welcome back, everybody. Well, I loved our first guest today so much a few months ago. I wanted to have her back because we didn't get to one of the things we wanted to talk to her about. She is known as a celebrity memoir whisperer. Chelsea Devantez is an Emmy-nominated writer, comedian, filmmaker, podcast host. She does literally it all. She also has her own memoir. This is what I was talking about. It's called I Shouldn't Be Telling You This, But I'm Going to Anyway. It came out last year, and it's all about something a lot of us can relate to: finding humor in dark situations. Audience, give it up for Chelsea Devantez, everybody. Hi, welcome back.
Hi. Oh, man, I heard you saying you love roller coasters, and if you love roller coasters, read my memoir.
Yeah, believe me, I know. Well, let's start. First of all, thank you for coming back. As you know, we ran out of time. We were gossiping so much about other celebrity memoirs, we didn't really get to focus on yours. So let me start there. What was the catalyst to make you make the decision to write it?
It really was when I hosted my podcast. I was reading all these female celebrity memoirs, and in so many of them, they write at the end, like, writing this set me free, it changed my life. Jane Fonda said it, Dolly Parton, Brandi Carlile. And finally, I thought, I want some of what they're talking about. I would like this feeling of, of just setting yourself free from all the burden and shame. And I think making art out of something really dark is one of the best ways to heal, my favorite ways to heal. And so that's what started the whole memoir process.
Because Chelsea, and it's one of the great things about it, you go into some what most people would describe as pretty dark places. A few of them, highlights the wrong word, my friend, but give us a taste of some of the things that you had to survive and thrive through.
Yeah, it's I'll give you a little traumatic trailer. I went through domestic violence when I was a teenager. That was pretty intense. I found out my dad was not my real dad when I was 14, and then I dated a magician. Now, are those last two things related? Yeah. And then it covers, getting into Hollywood, becoming Jon Stewart's head writer, some more. It's not really the overcome stuff, but it also has some really happy stuff. But I think like the light stuff lives right next to the dark stuff for a lot of us. And so It's like, how do you weave through all of it?
And don't you think, it sounds very Oprah, it sounds very woo-woo. I even through this goofy show, I will throw in here and there, I'm a survivor of abuse. I was molested by 3 different people, and I think there is a freedom in talking about it. I wasn't close to my dad. I think my dad liked mowing the lawn more than he did talking to me. But it's like in the audience, like, this is a perfect example. People need almost permission to laugh and to see the light in some of these darker situations, don't you think?
Yes, this is also why I love you so much, because the reason why abuse can happen, you're talking like 3 different people, is because we allow it to live in shame. And it lives in shame because we're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to laugh about it. When someone shares, we don't know how to react. So the more people, the more comedians, the more anyone who can share it's activism. It's tiny activism, because the more we talk about it, the less it will happen in the world. And we just have to be able to talk about it and talk about things like abuse and domestic violence and have jokes in them, because it's too hard to experience without laughs.
Yeah, and okay, so we have the trauma, but there's also, some embarrassing stories as well, and we all have them. Any that float to your mind that you would love to share with the audience?
Yeah, I want to make sure I can say these words on air, but I had a situation where I had to bike to the doctor. I was so poor, I had to ride my bike to the doctor, but the issue I was having was with my butt. So I'm like on a bike, And then I found out, this is so crazy. This is actually one of the funnier stories, which it won't sound like it, but everyone was like, you are pregnant. And I swear to God, I was the first female incel because I was like, no one will sleep with me. So there's no way I'm pregnant because I'm out here trying. I'm putting in the work. No one will sleep with me. And all these doctors were like, okay, but you're pregnant. Like, clearly you don't know what you're talking about. And it turns out I had a 7.5 pound ovarian tumor on my right ovary. It turned out to be benign, but I did look pregnant, but I knew I hadn't slept with anyone. So it was this whole medical conundrum.
Oh, I thank goodness there's a commercial break because I don't even know how to respond. More with my friend when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Stay right there. My goodness. Welcome back, everybody. More with our guest, Chelsea Devantez. I love her so much. Okay, Chelsea, now we got to talk. I want to go back because the last time you were here, we were having such a good time because Chelsea loves a good celebrity memoir. You devour them. You got to listen to Chelsea's podcast. I want to talk about one in particular because especially for the young people that are watching, they don't know the joy of Delta Burke. And correct me if I'm wrong, Delta's was one of the first, right, Chelsea, that you read?
Delta's was my very first celebrity memoir I ever read. I found it for 50 cents at a yard sale. I said, I think this is like, I got to know what this is about. It's half a style book and half a memoir. And the style stuff is like, you know, honestly really great. It taught me how to wear like a long blouse with leggings to extend the line. And I was 16 years old, just loving it. But it also talked so much about beauty and how she was punished when she had it and she was punished for when she didn't have it. And how Hollywood, you know, ran her out of town for the crime of being a size 10. And how she made her own clothing line. And she really changed my life. And she was the first person she was the only person I wanted to talk to when I went on my book tour. And thankfully I got to do it.
Yeah, oh, you did? How was it?
Okay, listen.
Because you know, sometimes, Chelsea, you know how it is. You build up and you want to talk to someone. Like, I want to meet Donna Mills from Knots Landing, but I think I'll pee and then pass out. So I just, you know what I mean? But so how was it when you finally did it?
I cried, she cried, Mac, her husband, you can hear him in the podcast. Even if it wasn't my podcast, I would say you have to listen to this episode because of her. She is such a radiant light and has found so much joy. And yeah, we cried through the whole thing. It was incredible. She's incredible. Because
what the audience, you may guys not know, especially young folks out there, and Chelsea will back me up on this, it is shameful that Delta was really, really one of the first women to be publicly in the tabloids, continuously fat shame. I hate that term, but that's really what it was.
Yeah.
And the behavior was basically sanctioned by the network and the producers. They did not defend her. They removed her from the show.
Oh, yeah. They had a whole episode about it that was like Emmy winning, but they still removed her. And I have to say, when we did the interview, I talked to her about some of the wild diet methods that were prescribed to her. One of them was crystal meth. And I'm not joking. They were like, here, try crystal meth. It's a great weight loss method for the girls. And even the press, when I did the interview, picked up on that message and kind of bullied Delta again. And it is, I mean, she really pioneered the way for women in Hollywood and for us to exist in our bodies as they are. And she survived so much. And Mac, her husband, has been by her side through all of it. And like their love comes through in the episode. It's really cool.
What's one that you've kind of eaten up recently that you've loved?
Okay, well, and a really old memoir that I tore through is Roseanne Barr's second memoir, where she talks about feminism and fighting for women's rights the whole time. It is, and then also she like works at the Bennigan's and gets trench mouth from eating off of people's plates. It is one of the craziest books I've ever read in my life.
And Ina's too. Did you read Ina Garten's?
Oh, I loved Ina's. Ina's was like a lovely, like beach, you want to go to the beach and page through it. And she's like living in Paris and like making an apartment for Jeffrey. It was great.
Because Chelsea, isn't it? Ina, I think, is living the best life of anyone on this planet.
She spends 20 minutes with her husband a month. It's amazing. She then just goes and like bakes and has like cool friends. Like, what a life.
Okay, I got to tell you, in 10 seasons, we've had a lot. You're just one of my favorites, and we just appreciate your time every time you say yes. So thank you, sweetie, so much.
I'll be here whenever. I adore you, and I feel like we're best friends, and I can't wait to hug in person one day.
Absolutely. Be sure to grab a copy of her book and listen to her podcast at Glamorous Trash, wherever you get your podcast. Give it up for Chelsea, everybody. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody.